there was a little bit of excitement there. Apparently there was some police presence noticed, and a little bit of confusion as to who and what and where and what was happening. So from what I understand, although I didn't physically go over there and look myself, it's been figured out. There was a Mr. Miller's police detail followed him over, even though he had asked them to remain back. So he was unaware, and we were unaware that their presence, but whoever is above them encouraged them maybe to stay the course, or they're doing or whatever. So anyways, that's what that was. Although there was also noticed presence of the SWAT team that's been here for a few days now, re-present again. Two black vans that have been hanging out on the road. Buses?
2 buses now.
Are they orange buses or black buses?
I believe they're school buses.
Or passenger vans?
How many new ones?
Yeah, okay. So anyway, so there is a little bit of presence. I don't know that it's added presence.
Oh, it's down the road.
I believe that it may have been here for a few days already. Anyways, so just so that everybody understands and knows that that's what was occurring. We can be calm again for a little bit. So we were just talking about the fact that it's getting late in the day, and we talked about a lot of heavy things, and Mr. Miller here really wasn't able to offer much in terms of some solutions, other than a willingness to talk, and then maybe we need to spend a little bit more time to talk about some details about what can be done in our current moment. And I was just saying, I asked him if he understood that the OPP had got a further injunction. It was renewed on this territory along the tracks, and that none of our people were present at the court injunction to represent ourselves in any way. But because of our understanding of the two-row, it's not our business to go there. And so it's a system that's systemically set up to move on without taking into consideration the treaty relationship that it has, undeniably. You guys need to make some changes. That's all there is to it. But we're now facing as a community and as a nation, because our people are all represented here. And I know that you were talking all around everybody before you come here. We heard everything. And we see everything. And we've got a kind of multiple issues. And so I'm here, there's a reluctance here. There's like, we're going to work on this. But there's a reluctance to be like, oh yeah, we did commit genocide, or we've committed an act of crime against humanity, and there's an unwillingness to recognize that it's not your territory, and you don't have a treaty, and you don't have a business in there. Clear. And I get it that you're maybe afraid to say that, I don't know. But that's what it is. And there's the illegal operation or occupation there of RCP. And they're illegal because it's against your constitution. So somebody needs to go and address that. And I'm hearing you say, well, we don't have the authority to get them out of there. So maybe you got the business to go and initiate the business to go and address that. Because there's been a mistake made. You said earlier we make mistakes. There's been a mistake made, and a judge made an error, and then the police force made an error. And of course we all know it's about money. That's still the truth. The one people are worried about their wealth, and their wealth is their land. The wealth is their moose and their fish. I ate their fish, by the way, because I went there. I don't know if you've been there yet. I've been there. I was there and looked at the checkpoint. And I ate the salmon and I drank the water from that river. Anyways, maybe something that could be done to help alleviate some of this pressure, because what I'm concerned about is we've got pressure on the building. And I hear this like, well, what can we do? We can get this started, we'll have some meetings, we'll open that up. Okay, well, let's be honest, right? If that opens up, the pressure takes away, and then you can rest, and we go back to being mistreated. And those people get slaughtered, get mistreated worse, and the pipeline goes through, and then it's gonna break, because you guys bought it from the Chinese, and they do poor craftsmanship, and that's all true, and the water's gonna be wrecked. And a few guys are gonna get rich with fuels that they're stealing from other people. Like, this is just a perpetuation of that. This Canada's built on resource extraction. Our resources aren't ours, or theirs. That's what's about. So, I'm not trying to just hammer away at you. Well, it's just reality that we're at. And you come here wanting to find some solutions, and so you're gonna have to do some things that you're not comfortable with, I think. Just like the people that had to stand in the cold to get your attention. And they're continuing, and they're facing, you gotta go home. We get done yesterday, you're gonna go home, you go for a drive, maybe you won't get enough sleep, because I won't. But you're not gonna get smashed in the snow with blood. With militarized police who don't care about you and think of you as a criminal and think of you as a dog or whatever. They're gonna treat you without any humanity. And they're gonna tell you to get off your own land and charge you with trespassing and in breach of a judge's order. Who was told that the tracks are blocked. But they lied. And when they served the injunction, I said, turn around. You just said to me, unblock the tracks. I said, turn around, look at the tracks. They wouldn't even look. They were standing on the tracks reading the injunction to the people. And they wouldn't even look at them. And we didn't understand what that injunction meant. And we asked them, what does this mean? Now, I'm not stupid, man. But I'm listening to all these words, these legal words that I'm a new day school survivor. Because you never close the fucking thing here. I'm sorry for swearing. But it's still open. And they never closed it. Why? They're not here. Because this place is still free. We're still actively working to try to break our spirit. Because we're the last Indians that are still free. Everybody else is terrified of you. We come from the land of Tyendinaga. And we will not let that happen. If you break us, you'll kill the plan. You see, you're learning slow. You need to hurry up. You're so far behind, you think you're in front. I'm sorry for scolding you there, but kind of. I don't know what your read is. You can probably call CSIS, and you can call CSIS. I probably can. I'm sure right on the phone they're listening.
I know the CAF is.
You can probably call RCP, you can probably call OPP. You can probably get a read on what things are politically right now in the country, what things are, how volatile it is. So we're looking to have some peace stuff. We're looking to hope that this thing gets resolved right over there. And we need some confirmation from the hurricane chiefs that that's what's happening. Not lip service. And concrete, you want something concrete, you need to have something concrete. And you can walk and see like, well, that's the best we can do, and we're living here with the pressure But I gotta remind you something. If they come in here and attack us, Canada will be very different tomorrow. And I mean, that's not a threat, that's just a call and ask. I'm concerned that this place is a tipping time bomb. That there's blocks all over. People are outraged at what was done with it. They're not outraged because, like, they're having fun. You commit a crime. And the people with the least amount of voice are screaming, stop. And the people with all the privilege are worried about going to their music lessons or if the tablets came for them to do the water. But the truth is that they already polluted the water in the first place, so now they need the tablets. And you told me he's gonna go around with 80 places and make sure they got clean drinking water. But you're not gonna go around those 80 places and clean up the mess so the water's clean. Because they should be able to drink it from the river. You have to plant the trees again. You have to fix the hole you dug in the ground. You don't fix the water problem by making a water plant. That disconnects the people from the earth, and then they'll pollute more. You don't need to nod your head. That's what happens. Every time you disconnect the people more, then they have less reason to love the earth. So we may be living right now with the pressure of OPP, and this place is pretty resilient. And I tell you, one time, I'll tell you a story I heard. I was there, I heard. There was a threat made by the Minister of Indian Affairs a while ago. And he said to the AFN leaders who said, they're gonna make us all pay taxes. So for the whole country, you just need to get on the trains, and you need to get on the bridges, and you need to get on the highways, and you need to have a national day of action and show this country that we mean business. And the Minister of Indian Affairs got up and said, any First Nation that goes on a track or goes on a bridge or goes on wherever, we're going to cut your quarter funding. That wasn't that long ago.
Funny shark kid.
And the AFN said they made a deal so that they could work off reserve, tax-free. They made a deal with the ministry. So they sold a complete deal. These are the ones you get permission from to go other places. Right? They sold completely out. I made the deal. And then they said, no one go on the road or go on the bridge or go on anything. We don't want you to do that. And there was one little place that went out on the highway and shut the 401 down. And the number 2 and the train. But I need you to understand why they did that. It wasn't because we were upset you're going to make us pay taxes. There was one fella who was yelling at it. But the men and the women and the boys, because it was children, who went out and closed the 401 and closed the number 2 highway and closed the train, did so because you promised you'd cut the money and we wanted the Indian Act gone. That's why. And you know what happened? Ontario is the only place where the Indians don't pay the tax, and the money kept flowing. So we failed. I need you to understand the severity of the situation, and that even though you get to go home, or a home or whatever, but we need to have concrete things happen. And it's not just that we're going to have to deal with the stress and you guys get to go. Because if they come here and they get us or whatever, and I'm sure my name's in that list, how do you think all the rest of the Indians are going to act? I don't think tomorrow Canada is going to be the same. I think it might be a lot smaller. And it's not a threat, that's the reality that we're living with. And I need you guys to understand that reality. I don't want you to be confused thinking that it's hard, but we're going to get through it. There's a time issue here. It's not just, I'm not saying get them out there. I think this is happening. And there's pressure by the monkeys over here. And they don't know what's going on. It's just like and not pay attention. No, we understand that there's an intention and a plan to raid here and raid in Mohawk simultaneously. And the consent. We understand that. That's the intention. And that's what it's been working on. Okay, whether they do that or they just go up to the one, that's the mess that we're in.
People that the demonstration.
You should check on it because I believe they put 2 more up.
Okay. I cannot call
I believe they removed another one here and another one there. I believe so. I don't know for sure. I don't know.
The one into Hazelton was removed.
Yeah.
But I don't know about other ones. I know there is a new one.
I know the trains aren't going through, so no one's checking the tracks.
You know, Bond.
So I'm just saying, like, let's be real about our scenario. And if you don't have the power to get some things done, call the people that do. Let's get some things done.
You can help.
Let's help. You said you wanted to hear. You need to help.
We'll help.
And if you don't help,
I want to help.
it's going to be a mess.
Please,
And
let
we're
us
being
help.
peaceful.
Let us help, please, sir.
You know what I'm saying? It would be nice to have that list of all the people, but truthfully, you know what will happen to that list? It's going to add more fear to the people here. What they're going to come after me. And maybe that little thing with the police was just an agitation to see what happened. Maybe a way to bust up this, or then they could say, well, or somebody sparks somebody's emotion and then they act up, and these guys say, hey, we got scared, so we had to go. We took a big risk to invite you here. We took a huge risk to bring you in our home and feed you. But you could say everything. And you have military background. I don't have anything like that. I don't know what's going to happen. But if we're going to have meaningful talks, then we need concrete things or concrete things. And I've heard it over and over, there's a suggestion, you never just asked straight out. You never said, well, open this up, well, we get this done over there. And if there was the other way around, you would never open it. Because there needs to be some concrete. So let's figure it out. Or at least let's get them to back down so that we can continue figuring it out. And you certainly have a commitment from me as an individual to continue talking. I don't know what my people are going to say.
I'm in still.
I don't know what my people are going to say. But what they said yesterday was, tell them that they need to get them RCMP out of there. Out of there, those people's territory. That's their territory. And I hear you guys saying, well, I don't know how they have power to do that. Well, someone must have the power to do that. And maybe you're going to get sued to do it. Well, get sued to do it. Now, maybe you need to lodge a complaint that, hey, man, I think they made a mistake with the Constitution. Maybe you get fired on Tuesday. And maybe I go to jail on Tuesday. I don't know. But at least we tried to have some peace. At least we had enough courage to do something different. I don't want us to get stuck in a deadlock where we can't go nowhere and just say talks failed and then we, that sucks. And I don't want to just talk about, oh, we get nice to each other and we're going to talk to Mohawk and learn to speak Cree and French and whatever. I don't want to get into all that, right? Like, it's important for a bit of understanding of who each other are as individuals, but we've got concrete stuff happening. It's -20, and there's people standing outside facing off with people who are sitting in one car, ready to go down there, and probably after you leave, come and do it. And what about tomorrow's meeting, or in a day or so, or what's going on? We've been so busy here, we haven't heard from the hereditary people there. I wasn't sure if there was a meeting plan that you guys were doing a meeting there and here simultaneously.
Got pushed back.
Because I understood that was
Yeah,
the
it's
intent.
kind of fluid right now, so I think that
They're talking about by the end of February, but I don't know when exactly between now and end of February.
I think a lot of this is, there's communication.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I think there's a communication breakdown with live information and it fuels a volatile situation. My sense is that the Glicks yesterday, Hazelton had pulled back on the condition that they themselves meet with the minister and the provincial minister as well, pending also talks with the hereditary chiefs that I believe Premier Horgan and Caroline Bennett had agreed to do. No, yeah, that's wrong. They had originally planned to take place today.
Yeah.
That got pushed back. The latest request was February 29th.
That's what I saw.
That's the best info.
28, I heard.
Was it? Well, it's a leap year, I guess.
Thursday.
Thursday.
28,
Oh, okay.
sorry.
I defer to you.
Yeah, I don't.
We talked to them.
Oh, good. Well, then you would know. I guess I'm not telling you. That's the information I know. But it's important that, you know, it's important to get information out and that everyone has the same sort of set of cards so they can read them and take their own decisions. I'll give you that. You said let's get something concrete, and you know, so let's explore that. Let's explore that. And I didn't ask you because I didn't think I could tell you. It wasn't my place. But my wish is that there be a temporary drawback to allow trains to go through.
Get the red coats out first.
My,
Get the blue coats out of down here. Then we can maybe have some common discussion on the table.
So my undertaking would be, again, you have to decide, but my undertaking would be to come back and continue those discussions. I think this is a discussion that obviously, given the context of the issues, needs to be widened. It absolutely needs to be widened if we want to come away from here with real significant change. And that is not only here, but across Canada. I think the issue then would be figuring out what's going on in BC and seeing what is acceptable to the community, what isn't. And that's a situation that I don't think will be resolved overnight if the meeting on the 29th or 8th is to occur.
I encourage you to change I encourage you to change your language. It'll be part of your changing your mind. You're not talking about community. You're talking about the Wet'suwet'en people and nation. That's the hereditary system. Not your make-believe band councils, and not the communities.
That's right.
You know, in my language, we don't have a word for that.
Propaganda.
We got towns, but this sense of community is a other thing. And we got our nation, our people, our clans and families and our territory. We don't call ourselves the Confederacy, we call ourselves Wishnewinjage, or the five lands. Our land is directly associated with who we are, our identity. And every people across this land is the same. So, I encourage you to change that thought, because that word is used as a weapon. Well, we negotiate with the community, we got approval from the community. Well, what about all the other communities that make together, that own that together? That's the nation. But that's not as easy as it works. And that needs to change, otherwise. And the other thing here, this fella said something to us a couple of times. Say, you got Canada's attention. And you said something a few days ago. You said, I will listen. Well, you were already listening. Right? You were already listening. We had your attention, but we were protesting. We were protesting. We weren't trying to. Your people, when you have activists, and they make cards and they put them up in the air and they stomp around on the street and you tell them you're allowed to do it in such a way that doesn't interfere or bother anybody. There's rules for it. It's like it doesn't really make a difference. But you can start some negotiations with the union. We're not participating in that system at all. So we're not activists and we're not protesters, because that's them. and they'll go and wait for you to come arrest them, and then they'll go home. And they made their point. That's not what's happening here. You committed a crime, and we're disgusted with you. And we don't want you stealing resources and running them through our land anymore while you're doing that kind of stuff. And it hurts us. You know, I don't know, I sat with some people and they watched on a Facebook live feed as the RCP marched up the snow, grabbing them people, helicopter and everything. They're in their own land, on their own place. Strangers came to do that to them. It's a shame.
Why would they take their drum?
You know, Frida Hudson was doing a ceremony for murdered and missing women.
We're talking compassion,
And they arrested her while they were doing that.
goodwill.
And you need to go and, whoever you need to go and say, you fucking assholes, what are you doing? You know what I asked those police to do the other day? I said, will you stick your cars and go stop the highway? Stand with human beings. I asked them, you tell them, I asked them that. You got choice just like everybody else. You don't get to say, I'm just doing my job. Not when you're committing crimes like that. No, that don't work. That don't hold water. That's bullshit.
You got kids.
So what can we do? What can we do to relieve some of this pressure? Because you're saying this could take some time, and I understand that. We understand that. We know it's going to take some time. And you got transports. This concern about moving stuff around, this can be moved by truck. It can be moved by plane. It doesn't need to be. There's no need to be like, oh, nothing can get moved in the country, so we're going to get angry at the Indians and we'll make the population turn on it. Come on. There's strategies to be able to move around stuff. There's waterways. You can do other things.
A false emergency.
And that's our land. We didn't even raise the issue about our land.
It's not just.
We didn't even try to put that on the table. We just said deal with that. We didn't even say, wait a minute, what about tolls or what about whatever? We didn't raise any of those things. We didn't muddy the water in any way. We certainly have the right to, but we didn't. And that'd be easy stuff to solve. All right, renegotiate a new lease with CN. They're gonna pay $1,000 an axle for all the material they're moving through. Because you know what? The whole country was like, this is dire. We're losing so much money. And our community didn't even notice.
Well, they got a train ticket.
Why? Because we get no benefit from that.
They got a train ride.
Once a year.
That's right.
Once a year. If
Thank you.
The post-secondary
you.
students, yeah, they get to ride the train once home. That's what we get out of it. That's
Sounds fair.
disgusting, isn't it? So, I think we're all getting tired. Well, we said we're gonna get something. Let's figure out, what can you guys do? I don't know. We're in a volatile situation, not just here,
You can
across the
agree.
country.
You can agree to be sitting right there again tomorrow. If this is such a dire emergency,
Then it means, okay,
Let's
just
get
give
it
it
on the
time.
table.
Let's get it done. Let's not wait till whatever, Thursday.
enough of the propaganda.
No.
I need you to pull on them strings, that you're representing the crown. And then you tell me that the crown representative that we're supposed to talk to is a jester.
That's
You can't do
right.
nothing. And then you're so fluid, you can't do nothing. It's like, well, how do we deal with these? And how do we have any help? Okay. Oh, well, I know what suit and hereditary cheese is called. We better give him a voice.
Still there?
Where is it?
Okay, a little microphone then.
So this is, so maybe you could introduce yourself.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
This is Chief the Canadian plan. I want to thank the Tyendinaga people for allowing me to phone here and give you an update on what's happening up here. It's quite a ride, as you can see on the news, that people have broken their own laws and they just invaded my land here. So police came in with automatic rifles and they just forcibly removed our people and intimidated them while we were doing that. And it was things that most people don't even imagine, that when you have a pointed gun at you, it's not an easy feeling. But again, I want to give you an update. The police are still out there. They're still doing some checks with random checks people, and they're telling people to get out because it's still an exclusion zone. And it's not an active place to be. This is our own unceded lands. I have a cabin there, and we weren't even on the way, and this proponent had decided to put an illegal enforcement on that illegal induction onto us. And we kept on saying that it's illegal because both governments, Canada and BC, circumvented the hereditary chiefs, which we kept on saying, and yet to no avail. Nobody was listening to us. So at this point, that's what I can provide you as an update on what's happening. And since December, we kept on going out there, and we met, the chiefs met, and we talk about what we say, what we're going to take government. We talk about what we're going to take to the RCMP. We also talk about what our general message is out there across this country. And again, I want to stress really loud and clear that we want the RCMP out of the Canadian territory. The detachment that was there at this area, 29 kilometer on the Morrison Road, we want them out of there. We don't want them having a detachment right in the middle of nowhere in their eyes, but in our eyes, it's in our territory. And they have absolutely no business setting up a detachment out there. We do our tradition out there. We do our trapping and our hunting, and they're out there with their guns and threatening us. That's not right. We want them out immediately. That's basically what we wanted right from the get-go. And also, we want BC, the RCMP, to commit themselves to talk what goes is the highest form of our value that keeps the peace and order in our society. We want them to sit down with us and talk what goes. Third, we want the Prime Minister of Canada to meet with us, our hereditary chiefs, so we can talk some matters that are very important to all of us, making the speaker right across the country. That's what we would like to see. Again, thank you, Kevin, for allowing me to speak.
Sir, my name is Marc Miller. Thank you for sharing your words. I'm wondering if you can update us on any meeting you're supposed to have with the BC Premier and Minister Bennett.
We haven't had any commitment or anything in writing. All it was lip service over the radio, over the TV. We don't have any dates. We don't have anything like that from Premier Morgan or
something that was the 28th or 29th. Is that inaccurate?
I'm not quite clear on what they're saying. That's it. The indication out at the media is totally different from our direct contact. We have contacts with their chiefs, but we're not getting the right story. We need Morgan to phone us directly and say, look, we would like to sit down.
Okay.
We don't like this media. It's all hogwash to us. We don't trust the media at all, one bit.
Thank you. Thanks again for your words.
Thank you, Tyendinaga.
Yo. I would like to, this is Ganario, boss. We met before.
Hey, hello.
And I asked you if you were going to defend yourselves. And you said, how do I know that you're not a security threat? Well, I hope I proved myself to you, my friend.
You have my brother.
So I would like to give you an update. Currently, we are sitting in our culture house. You was our traditional building to meet and make our decisions, and it was hijacked by the RCMP and the Indian Affairs about 75 years ago. But we're in here now, and we're my communities here. There's a cross section of people from here, and also our sister community that together makes a strong part of our nation, as well as a number of other relatives from other sister communities. And so there's a large contingency of us, and a cross section of people here. And we're sitting in talks right now in accordance to the principles of our ancient treaty relationship with the Crown of England, as I shared with you as we have. And we're discussing with the Minister of, I always say the Indian Affairs, but there's a new word for it now. Marc, this Marc fellow, and an entourage of his closest, how do I describe you guys? Advisors, I guess. As well, we have a buildup of Ontario Provincial Police in our area, and they have extended an injunction against our nation, and they're saying that if there's any of our people that are along the railroad track area, that they'll be charged with contempt of the court, and they've raised the threat of arrest and possible criminal charges. And they extended that injunction indefinitely. There's no end on it, and they have built their numbers up across our territory, and we've had instances every single day where they're pressuring us, and we have a liaison come twice a day to ask us if we changed our mind and whether or not we still want RCMP to leave the territory, or if we're okay to leave it the way it is. And we have been a little bit annoyed, but we've consistently said, no, we're stubborn, we don't change our mind about that. So we told them that we're not prepared to allow them to pass their trains through our territory while they continue to commit crimes against humanity on youth, and that they continue to occupy your territory with RCMP. And they're putting pressure on us, and we're reminding them that the entire country is upset about this, and that we're concerned that this is a ticking time bomb, and that if they come against us like this over here, that it may spark something bigger. Anyways, that's where we are, and we're trying very desperately assist these fellows in finding some peace, because they're out of practice. And so we're trying to give them some guidance, and maybe we can work together somehow and find a way to have them leave your territory, and also everybody be able to have a little rest. But we're not quite there yet.
And I agree, my brother. We need to see something that is practical and something that spells of action, not lip service. We've said that right from the beginning. We're tired of lip service.
There's been a request that or a suggestion anyways, that might there be a series of meetings established with you fellows, and that they would encourage or requesting that we allow the trains to pass. And, how do you feel about that?
It needs to be something that is part of a commitment on their part, and it's not going that they're not going to leave the talks, or they're not going to leave us hanging, so to speak, because DC, that's what they did. We said we were going to sit down and we were going to discuss this. And we did that 7 days before that enforcement was going to be done. So DC came in with Scott Fraser, and Scott Fraser had a mandate and also a staged attempt to have an access agreement for CGL to go back on our land, because we gave them an eviction notice. And then when that, they didn't get that, that's what they left. They just left. And that's plain rudeness right there. So I don't know the people out there, but the way I feel, they're going to be committed. They're going to be something that they want to sit down and talk, and not to leave this at their own time. We have to go right throughout this talk, this out.
We got the direction from the people here in an emergency people's meeting. Our laws allow that if there's an emergency, that our people can assemble themselves and make a decision to address a calamity that has approached us. And so Mark Miller calling for us to come to this meeting triggered part of our the great law for us to meet and to find the preparation. And so there was a mandate that was put forward by the people yesterday, and there's 3 of us sitting here representing our clans, carrying that mandate forward, that we're going to sit still and not allow these trains to pass through our land until the RCMP had been left your territory, and that we've heard from yous that in fact that's the case. Because we believe that there needs to be concrete action for concrete action.
Yes. I agree. And we need to report and inform you that the police are actually moving out of there with everything out of there, and they can't go back in there. That's something that we're adamant about. We're not gonna be facing all of that anymore. So.
There was a mention that I think it's I forget the name. Hasselton, where the Gitsan had the train blocked. They're saying that there was an agreement made to open that train rail in a promise for talks with I believe the premier. Has that changed?
Yeah, like I said, that's one of the things that they can say that, but at the same time, for me, it's all lip service. Yeah, I need something that is concrete. They need to own us.
Mm-hmm.
And I thank the Gitsan brothers for their support. are doing great out there.
Is the train still blocked out there?
Helps me to rest.
Yes, it is.
Helps me to rest. Where? Hazelton, that is.
Okay. Is there anything more you wish to share, my friend?
Well, I want to reiterate again, BC and the RCMP to commit themselves to talk Wakos, which was doing hereditary chiefs. Wakos is the highest form of the closest English word that comes to Wakos is respect. And the English word respect is sometimes really empty. Wakos is much more than that. It's something that you do ask, behave, you conduct yourself in a way that you're honest and truthful to yourself and others. That's what Wakos is. And that's what we need to have BC commit themselves to, as well as Canada, because all of this has happened because of not just the pipeline, but in the past, when all of these documents were put in play, they just basically, all of these clauses, the duress agreements, they just make the indigenous organizations all broke and put them in poverty first, and then they put an agreement in front of them. That no longer can happen. We know what's going on. We just want to address all of that and just say that's enough. We're part of this whole deal of the economy. We have to be part of it. So that's where we're going to. I want to thank you again, brother, for allowing me to speak again.
Yeah, you're more than welcome.
Thank you, Tyendinaga.
I don't know what to do from here. What are you able to do?
So my understanding is I need to go back to the Prime Minister and clarify exactly what the ask is. What arises from that communication to me is there's a lot of information that's getting either distorted or not clear, whether it's deliberate or not, but it's important everyone to be on the same page so the decisions are made in full conscience. And that isn't apparent to me for a lot of reasons. People name media, people say this is happening, that's happening, it spreads quickly. I would suggest that that's normal in this type of situation. It happens, and it happens, I don't think Facebook is making much better, frankly.
It happened for us today.
Yes, exactly.
The CBC dropped our video when we met each other.
So I will go back to the cabinet. I will go back to the Prime Minister, articulate the requests. So, which my understanding is the West Wetland leadership be properly engaged, that meetings take place, that they trace a path forward, and my understanding from you is that nothing will happen until then.
And the RCMP need to leave their territory.
So the conditions on which West Wetland leadership decide that to happen, and I appreciate that.
You just heard.
Pardon?
You
Yes.
just heard the hereditary chief say that's what he wanted in his territory.
Yes, and so, again, I'm not going to predict the results of that meeting in whatever shape or form that would take place. That would be disrespectful on my part, but I think that's the message I have to communicate. If there's anyone who feels that is inaccurate, I would ask them to speak up, or if there's anything else that I want as much information to be able to take with me tonight and to articulate clearly to the Prime Minister, to my colleagues in Cabinet, so that we keep those lines of communication open. And as you said, words are very important. Words are very important. I've misspoken today, and I apologize for that. I used sloppy words, and I apologize for that as well. But actions are very important. And I want to be able to go out to the media and say, what do you see of these human beings, these people are beautiful people. Not what has been portrayed on TV over the years. I want people to see what I see. I want people to see what I see. And it isn't what is on TV, time and time again.
So you'll have to stress to those people who is living by the law.
We need to educate Canadians.
That's right.
You need to educate the two-row.
And
The two-row.
again, these are things that don't happen overnight, but they can start today.
What's been going on in the schools?
I'll be glad to articulate that in the best way I know. In the best way I know. I'll leave it at that. If there's anyone who wants to say anything, and I propose perhaps that we go out with some spokespersons, yourself, Behande, and Mr. Daniels. And speak quite clearly to what has gone on today, the spirit and intent of the meeting, that we shared some tears, that we shared some laughter, we had a very serious conversation, and that this isn't the end of the story. And I'll leave it at that.
You don't get to leave it at that. You don't get to leave it at that because I still got these monkeys pounding on my back door. And you and I can't afford to have them come in here.
Particularly you.
And I know you're saying they can't interfere with the police. Somebody must be able to, in a gesture of good faith, to allow this talks to play out. And they might take a little while. But I don't know, maybe you reach out to the Minister of Defense, maybe you reach out to Minister of Justice. I don't know who you gotta talk to, but somebody needs to be able to say, stand down and stop spreading the rumor there's weapons or there's danger, because that's not helping the situation. That's disinformation. And we need to have things calm here, so that we can keep everybody else calm here. And I mean the country calm here, because this is going to change quick. And maybe it'd be wonderful, I don't know, but maybe it wouldn't be. We need your help to do that, I think, because I don't know how else to get your attention. And we're not in a position to be able to get them to relax. I mean, I asked him to stand down because you came here and said you were going to begin some talk, so he said he'd stand down today. And maybe we need to commit to some more meetings and ask him to stand down while that's happening. And you said there's going to be some speediness to this. So let's hurry up.
Okay, so this suggestion we talked about a little bit, but nobody really agreed to it, and it could help our situation along with the Gitsen, is it would be good to educate yourself and to find, if you're able to find proof of ownership of that railroad, because we know it was appropriated and our trust monies were used for that. So you can educate yourself and look for that proof of ownership, or to get their authority to enforce that injunction. That's what you can do.
Just another, not
to be rude or anything, but we need also, all of us, all the people that have participated here, our minds need to be put at ease in the sense of immunity for actions that we're going to be involved in, talks that we're going to be involved in, and being targeted, because it's happened before. And so anything that you can do in that way to guarantee that would be a really big plus as far as I'm concerned, as far as the families are concerned.
Somebody knows a little bit about that topic.
Yeah, some of the stuff you've been trying to address here, especially with the injunction, you're trying to get the OPP to extend this. That would relate to what we're doing here. RCMP out west comes under federal jurisdiction or federal police force. They have a commissioner also. And if you could get a hold of them through either the federal government or someone, maybe you could talk to your RCMP about the stuff that's going on up there.
Well,
I'm new at this. It's not something I do every day.
We're not.
No, I appreciate that. I'd have to talk to my team to see what's doable. I don't want to promise something I can't deliver. And that's part of the trust I convey to you. I appreciate that, Dan. I don't see any reason why you'd be prejudiced simply because you came and talked. I don't see. So it sounds reasonable. It sounds very reasonable, but I'd have to check and get back to you. And as to the issues in BC, there's that complexity that it is a provincially delegated wing of the RCMP. But yes, and I will, on a bit of the de-escalation and the pressure that you're feeling, I'll convey that you're feeling that pressure.
that doesn't make them feel like putting more on.
Well, then you tell me what to do.
Tell me what to do. All right, I'll tell you quickly. You need to find whoever can tell them to stand down, to stand down.
Them red coats off their land.
While you guys are working at getting that thing cleared up out there. You need to do that. And you said you need some time to talk to your team. That's fair. We got this building for as long as we need, so if you guys need to go and talk, call your people, call whoever, check your lawyers, whatever. Let's reconvene back here at 7. That gives you 2 hours. That gives us some time, and let's come back to see what we can do, at least concretely, and let's put some pen to paper, because my experience has been when we talk and we shake hands, we say this is great, without something in writing, there's nothing there. And even if it's the things that you know you can do, and then at least we made a little bit of progress. We didn't pause the chain, but at least we made a little bit of progress.
Hold up to the table.
You know, what do you think about that?
We have to check. You have to give us a time. We may not need 2 hours, we may need more.
We were just informed, a community member's father was RCMP for 30 years, and he knows for a fact that there's one person responsible, someone that you can call that is responsible for the whole of the RCMP.
I don't know. So, I just know about our stuff.
There is a commissioner to the RCMP who reports to a minister, the Minister of Public Safety. So that is a fact. But that commissioner does not have influence over the provincial police force that operates in BC. So instead of an OPP in BC, they have the RCMP E division, which is the BC division of the RCMP. So they don't have their own provincial police force. They pay the RCMP to be their provincial police force for them. And in that contract, it defines,
Come on, guys.
I'm just explaining how the
Yes,
system works.
I know what
It does
you're
not mean we can't have conversations with the political government in BC, the officials in BC, to express what we've heard today, to put that, to inform them of what the interest is, to inform them of what actions folks want. But I'm just saying there's no magical person who can demand that they do this federally.
And what about over here in the province?
The person,
About us here?
The OPP?
that would be the commissioner of the OPP.
So how can you come in, okay, you just get one, it's not that big, if you can get us out, take us out, but how come you can't take, like, you can come in and get us, how come you can't take them out?
Can't do that either.
The federal government, I mean, I don't think has, DM, do we have the,
No, we don't.
we don't have the authority to take you,
I
Well,
know.
what the hell does the provincial police got here then? Come on here. Shoes have to be both, both feet here. Jumbo talk and half truth ain't shining a change, guys. Let's be honest.
Let's not let our thoughts grumble.
Let's not lie to each other.
Before you leave, our crew has been, as I said, we have fought for multiple issues. We've been on several rolling, what you call rolling blockades is actually our spiritual ride as we have lit and lifted the pipes during each and every single action. And these issues are interrelated. It's interconnected with our sisters and brothers in West Minnesota, the 5 clans of original land, original language, original laws, original spirituality, original governance, original instructions, original ways of knowing, thinking, living, and being. And recently our crew has been getting harassed, and we've been informed by our insiders that even former CMP are being hired to actually bring a strong arm to our people. And as I've stated, we're not terrorists. We're family members. We're treating people with the understanding our laws of understanding. We also never ceded any land under our understanding. So now we've been told that the OPP has submitted a list to the courts listing those individuals that they perceive as being problematic. And as I've stated, we're human beings. We have a right to give voice. I have a right to give voice to my child, just as my sisters and brothers have put up the red dresses out west because of multiple reasons, like the raping of our Mother Earth. Those are things we have in common. So I want to ensure that the police are not going to stop and harass our members, because they're going, even though OPP has no jurisdiction in the cities that we're living in, they're coming into the communities. So I want to know what you're going to be doing to stop the harassment and the threats, the criminalization, the illegalization of our ability to give voice and visibility to our concerns. Our sisters and brothers in the Western Corridor, the Western Doorway, we carry those same concerns out here in our communities. So I want to hear before you leave what you will be doing to ensure our safety, and that there are, under the laws of the Esqualin, you cannot charge us. You cannot arrest us. So can you let me know?
you said?
And thank you for your words, and thank you for your heartfelt statement before when we had a break. If you could allow us to take a small break and see what we can do to ensure that the de-escalation tactics of the Ontario Provincial Police are being properly applied. Again, this is, I'm just stating fact, that this is not within my power, but we can communicate that clearly in no uncertain terms to the OPP. And then let me come back with what we believe to be the result.
I shared this with you. Some of the elders yesterday were talking about how serious this matter is. Said that there's no way that we're going to get this all addressed in one meeting. And some of the elders said we need probably 3 or 4 meetings and get more of the people here and we'll get this thing resolved, and probably that's what's going to take on that end too. It doesn't need to be months and months, but we need to take action and we need to be concrete about it, and it's not calm, right? So we need to keep it calm. So there's a commitment on our end to those meetings, to continue discussions and to make concrete action, not just lip service. And it's true what you say, there's people concerned that they've had to raise their, we had to tug on a train to get your attention instead of the chain. And we even went as far as wrote a very nice, eloquent letter and sent it to every appropriate person in the chain of command, including yourself, to say, let's sit down and talk before all this happened, and we were ignored. So I encourage you to use your power of influence and pull to those that you're able to de-escalate things here while we continue these talks that are being done. And I know that the OPP have the discretion to exert that injunction or not. And we're eventually going to have to get to the place where we discuss to the OPP about dissolving that injunction so that we can leave those tracks and that territory without all those people who've been standing in the snow winding up being hunted down for warrants. So we're going to have to talk about that eventually, but let's get this first stuff out of the way. Okay? So let's take some time.
Sunagati Sinichuga is also Sadade, Reported the Karan, you want to get down the Gataway. Shuruke the Octane took the Jesta, what to put to. That's it to you, what you hold, not a ten and a hold, you hold, one of the Luka. Now I have looked at the way was in the hold you edge it. Where was in the hold the gun, the Gero, Sage, Tigura, and Wadana Umbuta, Radisa Sansara. I also took Sana Abaka to know your Bonaga and a woman. Fokatina, Nudger, and the Tinits of my is a small aware what you were out. I'd like to acknowledge each and every one of you that are here. This morning I went to the fire, I burned tobacco. That is our way of communicating with all of the life forces. To every spirit that exists that sustains us, from our ancestors to the Great Spirit, to intervene in this time to help all of us to come to a mind and to understand what is transpiring here. In 3 months from now, it'll be May. And that time will be 30 years ago, where there was a situation that arose where Mohawks started to kill Mohawks. And again, the underlying issue here, like everything else, is money. Anyway, there was a group of us who came over here, and there's a statue over there, there's a monument about Runushanidu. The great peace started here when our people had lost sight of seeing the Creator in each other. And people decided that we could kill because it became the customary thing to do. When Runushanidu came to this place and started, the mindset that had to change, that will change the thoughts, the actions, and the ways, it took a while. But eventually that great peace process happened. He gave our people a warning, and it was that the chiefs and the leadership should never, ever seriously disagree amongst themselves. Because if they ever did, then we would be reduced to poverty and disgrace. And when that happened, we came here, we went to the other side of Eagle Hill. There were some condole chiefs, some clan mothers, some cake keepers, and we called for that intervention. And a lot don't know that story, but the spiritual intervention that needed to happen across Turtle Island happened. And I'm not going to go into all of the things that have transpired and are continuing to unfold here, but it's not just coincidence that we're back here in Tyendinaga. This land is sacred. It's sacred because of who Runushanidu was, and that message of one dish with one spoon, that we were all across this land, from where that sun rises to the sunset. Because the reason why we had so much division was Mohawk said, hey, this is where I draw the line. This is our territory, this is Oneida, this is Onondaga, the Seneca. He said, no way. One dish with one spoon. You're one family now. And those white roots were supposed to go right across this land so that we would understand that. And all hostilities would end, and we would be one body, one mind, one heart. So now we're talking about spirituality. When Europeans first got here, they had the doctrines of discovery, they had the papal bulls. Those ideas and those concepts is what all of your law today is fashioned around. Because it says that you have superiority over us. But as a result of all of that history, and we all know it, here's the thing. And this is what is in the Friendship Treaty book, and I have it over there, but it says this. That the early Europeans said that they came with God and Jesus. We said we have the Great Spirit. We understand the interconnectedness of all things, that we're all part of that sacred web of life. So now that being said, that because Canada is a so-called Judeo-Christian state, and they have no right to shoot our people and to kill any of us, just like the same token, we do not have that right to you. So like what was said, if there's any issues or problems, we sit down and we talk, because anybody can have a relationship. This two-role can apply for husband and wife. It could apply to me and him. It could apply to me and you. The first thing that it talks about is how are we going to show respect, peace, and friendship. And if we agree to it, well then, that's what we have. So I'm going to end with that, but just the idea that now we're in this time, because of capitalism, and because of the ruling elites, and because all of humanity's woes, the underlying common denominator that is the result of all of this is money. So now, if we know that, and we understand that, now how then do we have to rethink? Because in our great laws, there's no hierarchy. There's no kings, there's no queens. The chiefs and the clan mothers are the last ones to eat because you put your people first. Imagine if the federal government did that. There'd be no homeless people, there'd be no street people, because the politicians would make sure that all of those people's needs were met. And we don't have no right to condemn them or criticize them, because whatever it is, if there's street people today, we don't know what it is that happened in their lives. But the thing is, the God essence still exists within them. Or we call it creator, God in Yawagu, the way it is, it doesn't matter. But the thing is, we all have that spirit within us. And if we totally get that, it changes how we treat ourselves, it changes our relationship with each other, it changes how we understand the earth, and it helps us to understand about the ancestral realm, because this life is not end all be all. We originate in this Comunidad, we come here for a time and we're all going back home. We're already guaranteed everlasting life. So the only reason why we come here is to be happy. Everything that the Great Spirit afforded and provided us is there, and all he told us in the end is every day the Sarumorado. Hamba Hibaya, Hamba Hasha. And that's what we continue to do. So anyway, in all of this that's unfolding, we mustn't forget about the spiritual aspect of what is also being birthed here. Because we do have the keys for world peace. We do have the solution to a democracy where people will be treated fair and we can all get along peacefully. We can retake our relationship to the natural world, get off of fossil fuels, do all these things that needs to be done. Because if we keep going at the rate that we're going, and I told Tom Sidon this because this is not his first time. 1990, I was deeply involved with all of the stuff that went on. And I told the Minister of Indian Affairs, Tom Sidon, I said, look, it doesn't take a scientist to see where we're headed. And I didn't have Hurricane Katrina or the tsunami to compare and contrast with. I said, if we don't get with the program, we're going to be gone, millions of in the blink of an eye. I said, I feel like I'm the biggest hypocrite walking around. I could speak my language, I could put all those sacred ceremonies, songs, and dances through, but what do? I get in my car, I turn that ignition, and I'm equally responsible for the destruction of the earth. Now, did we have a say? No. Because every time we went to Ottawa or Washington and we talked about the indigenous wisdom of this land, what happened? You're right, chiefs, we agree, chiefs. Nothing changed, because the attitude was, we're ruling power, might is right, and we're going to do it the way we want. But now we're seeing that time is of the essence. We don't have time to pussyfoot around anymore. This young girl, Greta Thunberg, she's saying, I'm not going to school every Friday because I go to school to get an education. And when I read the report from the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, it says that we have 11 years left to make some significant changes about how we're treating our Earth Mother. Because once we pass those tipping points, we're all going to suffer in the end. So what is happening here is a wake-up call to all of us to say, let's put our best collective thinking together, because if we fail, we're all going to suffer down the road. Anyway, I ask that all of that sacred spiritual power help each and every one of us to guide us in our thinking and our deliberations so that we make the best decisions, not only for today, but those future generations that are coming. Thank you.
We're going to take a little break. We're just going to take a half-hour break. Don't leave, just wander up. Don't get upset and yell at me. Let's just be calm.
Yeah.